towards Harris and up towards Ridge.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here, and I'm at a nice little place called Woodbridge Harbour. You can see loads of boats and different things, and yachties and all that sort of stuff that people like to enjoy. If you watched one of my blogs earlier, you'll see the Bawdsey one, Bawdsey Manor. Well, this river runs out to Felixstowe, Old Felixstowe, and the Bawdsey Manor down that way. All the girls are out with their little dogs and everything else, and the yachties are building their yachts and everything else. But if you can look, I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a white building to your right, not that one, but that one over there. That is a tidal mill. They've spent a lot of money on that just lately, doing that up. When the tide comes in, the wheel will turn, and when the tide goes out, the wind will turn. But if I was here at low tide, it would be all mud. So it's actually nice to see the water up, because I haven't seen that very often. So there you go, that's Woodbridge. So very pretty spot. As you can see, there's a little railway station here that runs into Ipswich. And nice place to start a little blog from, I think. There you go. Woodbridge. Right, going to walk back to my bike now. Right, everybody, I'm back on my bike. I'm going to make my way through the outskirts of Woodbridge, which is a nice little town here in Suffolk on the waterside. And I thought to myself this morning, I got up there at, I had to get up this morning at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock this morning. I think it's now coming up for about 1 o'clock. So I had a couple of hours after I got Mrs. P off to work. So I had 19 blogs to watch, or vids, and I watched through those, some very interesting stuff. Enjoyed them. And there's one conversation that one man was talking about the guy in Northern Ireland. I think that's Northern Ireland. I will put his thread up on here, his name, and he was saying about his wife. She'd done a blog, and I actually did watch it a couple of 3 weeks ago. Done the first little blog with a bike, and she got some trolls got on there, or one troll, and give her a lot of grief, saying that her video was boring and different things and whatever. Hello everybody. Saying that it was boring and whatever, and criticised her, shot her down in flames really, and put her off, which is a pity really, because there's not enough lady bloggers. You know, most of us are male who do this, and it's nice to see lady bloggers. I know there's one I watch, Notorious Bunny in America. I've been watching some of her stuff and I quite enjoy it, and it would be nice to have another one, especially a lady whose old man's a blogger himself. It would have been good. So where do these fucking, and I say that, well, I don't know what to say really. Where does these friggin' trolls come from? What is their motivation? What is it that they want to do? What are they trying to achieve? You know? And I've seen, you know, on Facebook, somebody loses a loved one who's got a Facebook page, and they leave it up as a tribute. And some troll will, you know, sort of find it out. And the next thing you know, there's things on there like, I'm glad they're dead. You know, glad it happened to them. They deserved it. And all this sort of stuff. And that destroys the family. You know, it upsets them. Because it would. So what is in that mindset of that person to do that sort of thing, you know? It's bad enough when somebody dyers, you know, for a family, and then have that hit on them by some friggin' knob who you don't even know, you know. So it's like going back to the lady, you know, blogger. Why did he do that? Why did he, you know, slate her first effort? You know, we all have to start somewhere. You know, I started my first one, and every one of you boys and girls who listen to this all knows it ain't bloody easy, you know, to keep this up, you know. And when new people come along, you know, you don't need some bloody knob from some other part of the country frigging giving you grief over it, you know. So what is their motivation? Do you think it's because they haven't got a life themselves? Is it envy? Is it envy that you can do something like this and they can't? Or is it some sort of inner self with them where they think it's funny to do it, you know? Is it, oh, it's so funny to fuck somebody's page up, you know? I don't get it at all, you know. I know what I'd like to do if I had a vid up and somebody put stuff on there. Yeah, if it's if I overstepped the mark, you know, if I took the piss out of something or something like that, or said something inappropriate, I'd expect somebody to say, yeah, you know, Andy, you've overstepped the mark, mate. You know, you shouldn't have... Whoop, let him go. You overstepped the mark, you shouldn't have said that, and I'd appreciate it. And then I think, well, next time, I ain't doing that, you know. I watched a blog, a couple of 3 weeks ago from a young American guy, and he overstepped the mark, something wicked. And he said something that was not appropriate at all. And it wasn't just swearing, that was quite... I found it friggin' offensive. And a lot of people instantly said, oi mate, you stepped over the mark, you know. And he apologised. He said, oh, I'm sorry, that was just said on the, you know, spare of the moment. I didn't realise that I was overdoing it. Now that is constructive, you know, because we all open a gob sometimes and wish that we haven't, you know. So that was, you know, it's constructive. But somebody to de-destruct you, especially on your first attempt, is so damn wrong. I think it's jealousy myself. They can't do it. They sit in their little houses. They're probably fat little fuckers, you know what I mean, with a spotty face, you know, sit there all day trolling through Facebook or YouTube just to see who they can upset. They probably think it's funny. It's a joke to them, you know, but it ain't no joke, you know, at all. And I know what I'd do if I had my chance. I'd cut the little shit's nuts off. I really would. Because I don't like them. Don't like them at all. So, I don't know what you boys think about them. You know. You do see them. I've seen them on Facebook. Some of the stuff they put on there is horrendous, you know. And I think to myself, oh, fucking hell, I could rip his fucking nuts off, you know. And it seems today that something Andy's a bit riled, I think. A little bit upset, you know. But it did upset me this morning, and I don't like that. You know. We're all trying to do what we do. We're all trying to make life a little bit more entertaining or a bit more interesting. And you get trolls like that. There's an old saying, isn't there? I think that's in the one of the so-called 10 Commandments of the Devil's Bible or something like that, which somebody said to me. If you put your head up the parapet, it's your duty to knock it off. And I think some of these people think it is, you know. People who put their head up and do stuff, these people think it's fun to knock their heads off, you know. So, if I was that young lady, or that young woman, and I would just get on with it. Don't take the notice. Because I tell you what, I think with this this Google Plus, I think there's more chance of blocking out stuff like that now than we ever had before, you know. Car coming. Blocking out what you had before. Let's watch this. Top Gear. Straight out. Hey, oh, fucking hell. Yeah. So, you know, I would get on with it. I'd do your blogging. There's plenty of us out here who will watch and enjoy it, you know. Do it with the old man. He seems a bloody good fella, you know. And don't let them bring you down, because I ain't friggin' worth it. All they are is fucking arse wipes, you know. Anyway, that's my little rant today, I think, on that. Do you know, I ain't got a clue where I'm going, as usual. I think I'm going out to a place called Tangham Forest, and this is it. Tangham Forest. Now, I think if you go on the internet and you look at the Suffolk UFO story, it was here. There's a big American base just to your right. I don't think you can see it through here because there's too many trees. They were here for many, many years with the old tank busters and whatever. Well, many, many years ago, apparently there was a UFO crashed in these woods. And several soldiers see it. They went over to investigate and they see it. And it was all covered up. Well, even to this day, it still brings controversy in the news and whatever. And I think if you go on there and look at the Suffolk UFO story, Tunstall Forest or Rendlesham Forest, you'll see it in there. It's quite an interesting story, trust me, if you're into them old UFOs and stuff. Before I go, I'm going to tell you one more quick little ghost story. Now, this didn't happen to me, but why I like it is because it can be verified. About 5 years ago, my sister, okay, was in Scotland at a hotel. One of the hotels we've been to, Loch Orr, it's called. Very old place, old hunting lodge. And she went out into the foyer of the hall, and they had a huge, great staircase coming down, big wooden one. And she looked up, and coming down the stairs was a little girl all in rags, and she was translucent. She could see through it. And she thought, oh my God, it's a little ghost girl. Anyway, beside her was another woman she didn't know, because the hotel, you know. And the woman said, can you see what I can see? And my sister said, a little girl in rags? And the woman said, yes, I can. And the next thing she knew, this little girl disappeared. And anyway, about 3 days later into the holiday, two women come down to the foyer and said, you won't believe what we're just seeing. And everybody said, what? They said, whoa, look at this mud. Whoa. Friggin' shit. You won't believe what we're just seeing. A little girl in the corridor upstairs, just walking towards us, turned and went through a door. And there was two of them see it. So, anyway, they spoke to the lady who ran the hotel, or one of the girls who was running the hotel at that time, and she said, oh yeah, we all see her all the time. She's always walking around. But we don't try and say too much because it scares the hotel stayers, you know, the customers. So we keep it, you know, quiet. But now and then, people will say they've seen the little girl. So there's another ghosty story for you. Number one, I've got loads of them. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble on, because this video will get long, as my videos usually do. But again, don't take the notice of them trolls. Tell them to get friggin' lost. And get on with your blogging, gal. That's what I say. It's a good old Suffolk word, isn't it, gal? Yeah, get on with it. We'll all enjoy it. Get your old man to help you. You know what he's doing. Okay. That's all from me in a very, very sort of cold, grey day in Suffolk. I'm going the wrong way from Ipswich. I've probably got about 20 miles to go back. So, goodbye from me, boys and girls. Drive safe. And hope to blog you sooner than later. Suffolk Andy.